Welcome to the Man the Man series. Today we're going to be talking about 7 sectors or jobs that are virtually pandemic proof. Let's get into it. Now, at the beginning of 2020, we heard about the COVID-19 virus, and since then, our lives in the Caribbean has changed. Currently, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a number of countries, basically all the countries are still in some form of lockdown or the other. Some response to the second wave or the fear of the second wave of the virus. Because of this, a number of persons have lost their jobs, unfortunately. And currently in Trinidad and Tobago, the government does not allow anyone outside of the essential services to be out right now. In Jamaica, there are a number of curfews, especially on the weekends. So after 2 o'clock, you're not allowed to be out on a Sunday. And whenever there is a holiday weekend, it's a total lockdown. All right. One of the things that we see during this time is it's extremely important for us to see how we can survive. Not just to survive, but to become better. So, for instance, the students who are now in third form, they are looking on ways that they can choose their subjects. So they're thinking of career paths. So they're choosing the subjects based on that career path. And there are a number of persons who may also be looking on how can I get an extra income stream, or what are the things that I can do to start something new. So let's get into it. Let's look at 7 virtually pandemic-proof careers or sectors. The first one is having a supermarket or a small shop, because not everyone can start a huge supermarket at one point in time, and that's a lot of collateral. I'm going to be looking at the positives and negatives of each of them. So for the supermarket, the advantage is everyone has to eat. And whenever we're talking about essential service, obviously, you're one of the first ones there. The challenge, however, is this. Depending on the country that you're in, you're going to need to be able to put your hands on a large quantity, well, generally, all the countries, a large quantity of foreign exchange. Depending on the country, that may or may not be an easy thing to do. However, we're going to be running right into the next one, which is farming, growing what you eat. There are, however, challenges to farming. So let me give you an example. St. Vincent and the Grenadines recently had eruptions of the sulfurous volcano. All right. That caused an ash cloud to not only envelop most of St. Vincent, but also parts of St. Lucia as well as Barbados. And after that, they being St. Vincent and the Grenadines, had some serious floods. So not only do we see things like the pandemic, which is the closest thing happened 100 years ago, and the volcano erupting, and the closest thing to that happened, well, that particular volcano, I believe, erupted 40 years ago, but we're also seeing things that we always expect, like flooding. So if it is that you're going into farming, a very good idea is to make sure that your farming practices are robust enough to not be affected by the usual flooding that we have across the Caribbean. So trying things like aquaponics, which is the growing of fish and plants in the same environment, is a good idea. Trying things like hydroponics, which is the growing of plants in a soilless medium. 2 very good ideas that you should think about, because we are recognizing that this year and last year is filled with the unexpected. So let us see how much we can avoid getting caught up with that which we know and expect. Now, because of the whole pandemic, there has been, in many countries, an increase in home invasions and petty thefts. Everybody jumping a fence these days. Security is a big thing that you can go into. Of course, you have challenges because you need a certain amount of manpower, but you can overcome that by giving to residents or giving to communities the ability, or rather give them the service of patrolling via drones. So instead of you having manned patrols, you have some drones up. You have some, yeah, you have some drones up. Of course, you have to be careful that you are following whatever rules are set out by your aviation authority in your country. Very important. If you're doing something, make sure you do it legally so that you have no challenges in the future. The next one is light, water, and internet. Of course, you need the internet to get online, to do your job, to go to school. You need water to wash your hands and to be safe and to sanitize, as well as to cook, right? And you also need electricity for obvious reasons. The challenge, however, with this is these utility companies have a limit to the amount of persons that they can employ. So an option that you could try is to have your own water trucking company. Website creation and mobile app creation. Nowadays, everything is going online. Everything is all about e-commerce. Therefore, if it is that you acquire the skills so that you can create websites that allow persons to purchase online, that allow persons to have access to different companies' products online, then you're in a very, very good position. Now, everybody heard about the Bounty and Beanie verses, the best verses to date, right? What that showed is the skills and the talent of the Caribbean people. When St. Vincent had their challenges, which they're still going through now, there was also an online concert for them. What this shows is that in the Caribbean, we can entertain ourselves quite easily, and the world is very interested in us and being entertained by us. Nowadays, everyone is on Netflix. So what is a good idea is for us to start our own Netflixes in the Caribbean. I do believe that there may be one or two persons who are currently into this. But if it is that there is a child or an adult who is into entertainment, make sure if you're going into entertainment that you ensure that you have a way to meet your clients, you have a way to meet your customers, that your customers can access your catalog and that you are able to be paid for that catalog. So we're talking about YouTube channels, etc., Patreon, anything that allows creatives to be able to generate funds. And of course, you need to know what the advantages and disadvantages of all of those are. And the last one, which is certainly not the least, is digital marketing. Of course, everyone is online, everything is going online, and therefore it is a good idea for you to focus on digital marketing. If it is that you're managing different companies, online posts, etc., then you have the ability to work from home. Of course, because everybody is an online marketer or a digital marketer, you have to be careful because it can easily be saturated. So you have to make sure that you have the skills, whether using Canva or whatever else, to create your posts that you stand out from everyone else. Very important. You see, at the end of the day, what we have recognized is this. There has been a total shift, a total change, a total shake-up of basically every and anything that we know of. So it is a good idea for us as Caribbean people to master the things that are around us, to watch the trends that are available, and to become better after this pandemic. As always, be safe. Take care.